Welcome, world, to Life, Love, and Wellness Global, a worldwide wellness movement. I am Reverend Sandy Rogers, and as the creator of this historic event, it is my pleasure to welcome you. We come together to bring you this historic event. We have practitioners, holistic practitioners. We have medical doctors. We have spiritual individuals. This event is so lovingly dedicated to my mother, Mrs. Barbara Dean Brown. And my mother taught me like 40 plus years ago about the importance and the meaning behind herbs. And she would always say, we don't know what they putting in those pills, so you better not, get hooked on prescription drugs. And so we listened to Mom, but not all of us paid attention. My sister, bless her heart, was diagnosed recently thereafter with asthma, and she was prescribed prednisone, which is a very powerful steroid. And my sister actually got hooked on steroids, like someone out on the street kind of hooked, like on heroin or crack or something like that. And so my mom and my sister are both on the other side, living in the other dimension, but they're upholding me, and this is dedicated to their memory. So we don't want to come and make you change your mind about what you're doing. We just want to provide information to you, something different, so that you have options to choose from, so that you're not stuck. Because the environment that we now live in, the fast foods, the toxins in the air that we breathe and in the water that we drink, and the processed foods, and all of that is causing havoc on this precious body temple. So God created our bodies to heal themselves, but they can only heal themselves when they're fed and they're nourished and they're stress-free. And so the 60 or so or more experts that we have are bringing you this worldwide wellness movement in an attempt to share their testimonies and their information with you. So we have from age 14 on up. I don't even know what the oldest age is. I think 88 or something. So you see, that's a wide range of knowledge that we're bringing you. And so we hope that you come and that you get all the knowledge that you need to affect a positive change on your life, and share this with others. It's free, it's online, and so we're just so thankful that you decided to be a part of our listening community, the viewing community, and we certainly appreciate you for giving us your time of day and your energy and your efforts to being with us and to being a part of this historic event. We have pulled together people of color for you, by you, right? So we want to make sure that you understand that we too, melanated people with color, can enjoy, practice, and participate in some of these modalities that others have been doing for centuries, and that is pretty new to our community. So we talk about Qigong, we talk about meditation, yoga, spiritual work from a different perspective than religion. So we talk about the spirituality aspect. We talk about abuse in the families. We talk about all kinds of subjects because we know that in our communities there are layers and layers and layers and layers of stuff that we never talk about that's causing a negative effect on our bodies and its healing process. So we address it, whatever it is, and we hope that you will benefit from the many experts that we have, and that you walk away with lots of knowledge and lots of new information, and that you become fully empowered to share information with others. So thank you for being with us. We love you and we bless you, and we look forward to doing this again. But thanks for being here with the first one. We appreciate you.
Life, love, and wellness. Life, love, and wellness.
I am Simone Cox, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and a licensed professional counselor. I am the founder of Release Counseling and Consulting Incorporated in Atlanta, Georgia. One thing that I found is in the African community, there's a lot of trauma that is unresolved. So I work with people to try and identify some of the patterns in their lives that are leading them to make the same decisions, the same maladaptive decisions that keep them stuck and that hinder them from accomplishing the goals they want to and being the best person they can be.
And is it true that sometimes the patterns or the behaviors can be slightly different from the parents, but it has like the same underlying cause,
Yes.
so to speak?
So depending on what the role is, whether it's from a parent or a child, the behavior can be different, but the underlying causes of the behavior may be the same. And it may be that need for attachment, the need for safety, the need for love, the need for security, to feel wanted, to feel valued. And that may show itself differently depending on the person's age, gender, behavior, background, but it does come out eventually. And the goal, of course, is to help people identify what those needs are and who are safe people to try and get those needs met from. Now, we can heal our bodies from the trauma through exercise, yoga, counseling, any variety of therapeutic modalities, but untreated, those things kind of fester in our body. And if you think of them kind of as just hardening and just staying there and fumes just coming out of them, and those are the things that impact us, which then result in our having a negative attitude, bad behaviors, our inability to explain what it is that we need and want from others, as well as keeping us from accomplishing the things we want to on our jobs and our families and our relationships. So long term, it can cause us anxiety, depression, illnesses in our body, and ultimately, at a very extreme level, with all these things compounded, high blood pressure, heart disease, and things that are so prevalent in our community, which eventually, if we don't treat these things and take care of ourselves, do eventually contribute to death.
That's interesting. From my history anyway, when I go to a family practitioner or
Yes.
a regular MD, I'll never question about my emotional state or what was home life like, or that it has any impact on my overall health.
Right.
But I'll be prescribed a pill to take or something
Yes.
along those lines. So when we take advantage of the services that you provide to
Yes.
a person, then does that eliminate the need, or reduce the need, I should say, reduce the need for prescription medications?
Absolutely no. The idea is for them to work in collaboration. There is a place for medication, whether it be for mental illness or hypertension or whatever. So everything has its place, but what works best is to collaborate all those things for the betterment of the whole person, not just treating a spot illness here and leaving the rest untreated. So they go together.
Okay, great. And so in your practice, do you deal more with families, with couples, with women, with men, with children?
Well, I work with adults. I love the little people. I just don't work with them. And I deal primarily with individuals and couples. I love that. I like working with individuals who often are in periods of transition. So in my practice, we look a lot at wholeness, the whole person, and what's going on in their lives, whether it's family, work, school, and how all these things make them who they are.
That's interesting, because we are raised with that, you're my better half, or
Right.
I'll bring in
Right.
50%, you bring in 50%.
Right.
But I love the way that you're approaching it, is that you're already whole. Both parts
Right.
of you are whole, so that just makes a bigger whole, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Because just because you have two halves doesn't mean that they're cut right, or that they're going to, if you think of a puzzle, you can have two halves of a puzzle. How do you know they're the same puzzle? How do you know the pieces are going to fit together? But when you have two whole puzzles, you can easily bring those together. I like to think of myself kind of as just a support, journeying with them at this particular time in their lives. My goal, of course, is to get them, to help them reach a point to where they don't need me to journey with them any longer, and this is what I share with them. So I try to give them the tools that they can utilize on their own, away from me, so that they don't need to come back and see me anymore. More and more people are finding value in it. Now, what I am finding is that they want someone who they feel will understand the foundation of the culture. And so I will get people who will seek me out because they want someone who looks like them, who understands what it's like and won't judge them for various historical issues that are commonplace in our communities. And so they do start to embrace counseling. Once they experience it, if they do the work and see the benefits, then they value it. And then once they progress beyond a particular problem, they are not opposed to seeking counseling again, should something else come up in their lives.
Our communities don't embrace, because of whatever, like you said, the historical meaning that we've given to that. But it's so important when we have all of these emotions that are stuffed so far inside of us that is affecting all areas of our life.
That's true. A lot of people have that stigma that if they think of therapists as shrinks. We're not psychiatrists, we're therapists. And we don't prescribe medication, but we are there to support you. And think about how good it feels when you are upset, or you're angry, or you're frustrated, and you're able to talk to a friend and you feel relieved. Like, oh, okay, I feel better. That's kind of what it's like, except this person doesn't know you. They're in a more objective place to help you because they don't know you, and they can see things a little bit more clearly to help you in a more effective manner. So we never use the word crazy. That is not a diagnosis. Everybody needs somebody to talk to at one point or another. Therapists and counselors are there to help you and to listen to you and to support you. You deserve to have somebody to talk to without judgment, someone who is not going to tell you what to do, someone who's going to support you and release you when it's time.
And the benefit to the overall health, we spoke a little bit about it in the beginning, but I can see a person where their cells are just like happy that they're not carrying this heavy load anymore, right?
It's like taking the bricks off of your shoulders and placing them onto someone else's to carry.
I love how you break it down, and it makes me want to come to you for the counseling.
Please do.
Yes. I think it's so beneficial, because like you said, we all have issues, and we still carry some of that unresolved issue from generations past.
Sure.
That never knew about some
Sure.
type of counseling or therapy. They were more or less taught to keep it to themselves, and you don't share what your problems are with other people.
Absolutely.
And that was passed down to us.
Yes. Yes, that was taught to them because when they did share, it was used against them. And so that has permeated through generation and generation and generation, to where that's just something in our community. What happens in my house stays in my house, and we don't share that. And that's for fear of repercussion and judgment and any other type of bad thing coming into our house against us. Our ancestors and relatives didn't intend to hurt us, but hurt people inadvertently hurt people. They don't know how. If I'm hurting, then I can't necessarily help you be healthy and whole because I don't know how to do that for myself. And so where counselors come in is they help you to be able to do that for yourself so that you can consequently help someone else should you choose to do so.
Yeah, like you said in the beginning, our relationship is between two whole people, not two halves.
That's right.
Right. So that's a wonderful way for people to complement one another. And I know that those situations, especially when our parents and grandparents and great grandparents didn't have the tools in order to deal what they were having to contend with.
Yes.
It caused problems, and we did the best that we knew how in order to handle those issues. But it's a new day.
It is.
And for us to be able to progress, what would be your advice?
My advice would be to seek out all of the resources that you have available to you. People are still doing the best they can, but there are so many resources out there that are untapped. There are things that we can do that don't cost any money that can relieve stress. Going for a walk, playing with your kids in the park, taking a bubble bath at night, meditating, having a sleep routine. I would say utilize various tools, do research on all of the resources that are out there available to assist families and to help couples, to help individuals be the best person that you can be. If you go on the internet, there are lots of free resources and things, and you can contact therapists. There are lots of therapists who work on a sliding scale. Some of the community clinics have free therapy. And just try to find out to get the things that you need, the tools that you need to help you to accomplish the best you and get to where you want to be.
That's beautiful. That's what we want to do, is to provide the tools to the community. And so you've offered so many great tips and advice and a different way of looking at issues that could be impacting a person's life. And so we really appreciate you taking the time to share your wisdom with the audience and to let us know that there's no harm, there's no stigma.
Right.
There's none of that. When you go for help, it shows your strength.
Absolutely, absolutely. We don't hesitate to go to the doctor or go see somebody for anything down here. We'll go, we'll take a pill, we'll do everything. But when we need help up here, people seem to be a little bit afraid and intimidated. But all of this is part of our whole selves, and all of it needs attention.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Simone. I really appreciate you sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Bye.